Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. In today's video we are talking about Echeveria lemon lime variegated. Sounds little complicated, but trust me, it's a very easy to grow succulent. Ideally variegated succulents are very difficult to grow. They're very finicky, but this guy over here is a very simple and easy to grow succulent. Now you won't believe this succulent was beheaded before I went on the vacation. This was beheaded on 25th of October 2021. Ever since then it has been away from soil or outside the pot. I had let it to air root. The roots look very dry because it was not in soil, and now I'm going to put it into the soil. Probably it has been begging for soil for a really long time. I'll put the picture on the screen how it looked on the 25th of October 2021. This is how it looks. It has grown another head. It was only one, as you can see in the picture, but now it has two heads. I don't know how did it survive, but it's been doing absolutely well. Probably because it was winters, they were dormant, so probably did not cause a lot of harm. October until Feb, probably the winters were still going on and it was dormant, so it didn't actually affect the succulent at all. In fact, it even put out another head. I'm not sure how during the dormancy, but it's a good thing for me. I didn't have to do much. So talking about this variety, it requires a good well draining soil. Ensure the soil is loose, porous and well draining. Ensure that you give it a good amount of either morning direct sunlight or afternoon indirect light. Do not expose it to afternoon direct sunlight, otherwise the leaves will get burnt. Because it's an Echeveria variety, it will go dormant during the winters, and summer is their growing period. So I'm just going to do a quick repotting, and I'm just going to be talking about the care requirements as well. Talking about pest attack, yes, it does get affected with mealybugs and aphids. Aphids in case if there are blooms. Mealybugs are something that it often gets affected. I've made a video on it. I will share the video about how to treat mealybugs. It was on the same variety because the succulent was slightly weak because it was outside the soil. It was not able to grow properly. That's why it was in stress and it attracted a lot of mealybugs. Usually what I've noticed is if a succulent is weak, it tends to get affected with mealybugs. Overall the succulent might look very healthy, but at times it does get affected with mealybugs. I was reading an article on this that plants also tend to send out certain signals when they are in stress or when they are not very healthy. They tend to put out some kind of frequency or signals which tends to get attracted or which tends to attract insects, and that's how they tend to start affecting the plants. Not only succulents, any plant for that matter. But you'll always notice that if a plant is healthy, it usually does not get affected with any kind of bugs. I'm not very sure about this. I had just read one article. Probably I'm going to do a little bit more research on this because it really sounds really interesting to learn something new about this. So it does get affected with mealybugs. Be very vigilant. Ensure that your soil does not have a lot of organic matter, is not very high in nutrients, otherwise it is going to invite uninvited guests like fungus, mold, or even for that matter mealybugs and other bugs which attack our succulents. Talking about propagation, it's pretty simple. I have propagated a couple of them via stem cutting and beheading. You can see now this one has started to put up some roots over here. So as you can see, she has put out some roots. This was a beheading, a stem cutting that was done some time back. You can see there are new roots. So it's very easy to propagate them by doing cuttings. As you can see over here, this was another beheading that was done, and you can see it has started to put out roots. Again, a lot of healthy roots, as you can see. Here there's one, and then there is one pink root over here. So it tends to work out really well. Stem cuttings, beheadings, you can separate the offsets. They tend to multiply and propagate very easy. I was quite surprised because it is a variegated hybrid. Usually hybrids itself are very delicate and do not grow very fast, but this is an hybrid, plus it's a variegated hybrid. But even then there is so much of success, so definitely it does quite well. This is one of the variety of succulent which is hybrid, variegated, yet very easy to take care. That's the reason why I have put it in the level easy, because it's very easy to take care of this particular variety. Talking about sunlight, give it a good amount of either morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours or indirect bright light. If you give it a good amount of morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours, you will then be able to see this beautiful color on them. Watering again depends on your soil. As and when your soil tends to be completely bone dry, go ahead and do a complete watering. Ensure that you do not overwater the succulent. So as you can see, the leaves are not very plump, so they cannot store a lot of water. So ensure that you do not underwater it excessively. If you belong to a very warm and humid environment, then definitely if you're going to underwater it excessively, then there could be dry rot. So ensure that you do not overwater, you do not underwater it too much. Try to maintain a balance while watering. It tends to go dormant during the winters. Summer is their growing period. So ensure that if you're adding fertilizers, only do it during the summer period, which is their growing period. Ensure you dilute the liquid fertilizer in water and probably give it either once a month or once in 2 months. Do not overload it with nutrients, otherwise again that is going to harm your succulent. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep propagating.